version, all right? Not the I got caught and now I'm crying wolf version, but the real one, because we need to stop watering down terms that have real weight. Doxing is dangerous. It's when someone digs into your private life, your unlisted address, phone number, kids, schools, and throws it online like, they're throwing out something to a shark infested waters. That's malicious. Okay. That's not what's happening here. See, when someone shows a court record, a mug shot, or a filing that you put into the public domain yourself, that's not doxing. That's documentation. That's called accountability. And then let's talk about intention, because intent matters. So if there's public records, court documents, that's documented. It's in the public domain. That's not doxing. So let's stop pretending that the truth is harassment. Let's stop flipping the narrative just because it's uncomfortable. Tonight, let's just set the record straight. If you didn't want it known, you shouldn't have put it on record. You've heard people say that. People have accused me of being a doxer as a narrative. I want someone to show a receipt of doxing here. And then we can talk about it. You wanted the spotlight? Now the truth is catching up. Okay. So it's quick. DForDoxxing. What does it really mean? I think of it, pretty much summed it up. Mhm. If somebody puts up a photograph of someone in a jumpsuit, it's a documented crime story. It is a matter of public record and talks about it. That's not doxing. If someone has a criminal record and it's a matter of public record, public document. There are court documents that are sealed. That's not a public record. It's a sealed document. If it is sealed. Okay. But if it's a public record and it's part of a topic or discussion, that's not doxing. Let's be clear. I've been accused of doxing people somewhere. But I haven't seen one receipt. Not one. Some people will call it false doxing. Not once did I put up a record, even if it was public. I never put the record up. To show? No. If you have a receipt, produce the receipt. But I've seen it on videos and been called, this platform's doxer. This, what do you call it, sector. As a handle. But that doesn't make it true. Show receipts. Show receipts. Just because someone wants to put that handle on someone, that doesn't make it true. But also, let's be clear, you can find, and I have said it, and I won't deny it, the person who is hiding behind a curtain and has done a number of things under an alias and has gotten away with it. That person needs to be held accountable. You see, that is the only person I have talked about in that way. That person absolutely needs to be known. Yes. Why wouldn't I want to know who has created deep fake pornography? Why wouldn't I want to know that? Why wouldn't I want to know who filed complaints to take my medical license? Why wouldn't I want to know that? I could go on and on. Why wouldn't I want to know who's done these things to me? And hides. Why? So I know they're listening. That person needs to be held accountable. I have never minced my words about that. I've always said for accountability, because if you don't know who you are looking for, they really cannot be held accountable. I heard someone make a comment, said, why are you concerned? Why would you want to know? You should just want money. That's how they think. I want accountability. I want clarity. All of that. But it's important if a person is doing things and hiding. We're not talking about, someone out here that is not doing things to cause harm. I'm talking about real world harm. When law enforcement is looking for someone, they're looking to identify that individual, to hold them accountable. President Trump just signed what law? It makes it a crime. We're talking about a crime here. If proven, and I have receipts. It's deep fake pornography. I haven't talked about it much just yet. But that is now a crime. I wouldn't put it in the record if I didn't have evidence of it. So let's be really clear when I say I want to know who did this. It's with purpose. It's for accountability. It's not anything to do with what people are saying. I want accountability. And for that to happen, this person needs to be known. So I want to, in advance, when people have put in things and I've listened to a mixtape and they played my voice and I talked about doxing like I'm talking about it now, in response to someone asking me a question. If someone's going to play something that I said, play it all. To give it context and meaning. Because I have no difficulty in talking about what I have said. I don't. I don't. No, it's not just about, oh, they'll be, you've heard families say, they want to know who hurt them, who hurt their child, their son or their daughter, their loved one. It haunts them. They want to know. Mm-hmm. I don't want to deal with a ghost. That's why I don't want a ghost. I want to know who I'm dealing with. For accountability. I have never harmed anyone in my life. Though that false narrative is out there. I mean, really out there. Mm-hmm. This person needs to be held accountable for putting that out there. Yes, it's documented. Yes, I want to know who made these lies upon me. I want to know. Pseudonyms and aliases and boogeymans and ghosts. I can't deal with that. So I needed to just, come to the mic and just kind of say that, put some perspective around it. Just a little bit. There's more, but just a little bit. Since things are being distorted. I need to just say that. That's why they keep petitioning the judge. This alias. I've got 2 aliases petitioning the judge. I've got a Jane Doe who is, and I've got a John Doe asking for the same thing. It's incredible. This is someone who failed at happening last year, and they are determined to try to get it done. That's very disturbing. It is. And I just can't stand by and let that, lie just be perpetuated. Without casting a light the best that I know how. So again, if you're going to play something, one of my videos, play it all in context. Not just the word that I said, doxing, with nothing before or after, but a statement that is misrepresentation. I see the play. I think that's about enough that I need to say on that one. It's 11:02. Anything else? Yeah. Too many people are afraid of the boogeyman. This boogeyman. Yeah. Too much control and power. Yeah. It's DForDoxxing, understanding what it is. Analyze this mess because somebody has to say it. Biggest bear hugs go out to all the grizzlies and the honey bears. Please hit the like on your way out and join me sometime tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Teddy. Good night.